Hello, everybody. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all safe. We're still in lockdown. And so today I've called my video The Gift of Lockdown. And I've done it under no illusion that actually lockdown is difficult for many, many people at this time. And people are worried, people are lonely, people are anxious. And people are just nervous about what the future holds at the end of lockdown. And I've had my bad days. I've had days where I've been pulling my hair out, where I've struggled with the lack of freedom and wanting to get on with life, but knowing that this is the right thing to do. But this last week, I've seen a bit of a positive slant to it. I've felt it as a bit of a blessing. And that's why today I've called it The Gift of Lockdown. And the blessing that I've found this week is spending extra time that I would not normally get with two of the most amazing people in the world. We've got one who's 9. She's smarter than me already. She's wittier than me already. And she just wants to do the right thing all the time, which just blows me away each and every day. And that's Jessica. And then we've got another one who's 2 nearly in June. She's just a bundle of joy. She's full of life. She's into everything. And she just wants to learn more. And she sings herself to sleep at night time. And that's Isabel. And yeah, it's my kids. I've loved spending extra time with my kids. And this week, with Sharon being back at work, I've been on daddy daycare a lot of the time. So it's been a blessing. I felt it as a good thing. And I'm under no illusions as well with this, that we've had as tough days with it as well, trying to find things for them to do and getting wound up by each other. But it is a blessing this time that we'll not get back again with our kids, having this quality experiences with them. And I've been playmate. We've done loads of crazy things. I've been teacher. I've taught maths. I'm teaching colours and shapes. And best of all, I've been dad. And dad more than I usually am, which is wonderful. And you've got to make the most of it, haven't you, while they're young? Because we all know they grow up, especially when they become teenagers. They lock themselves away in the bedrooms. They're connected to the phone. They want to spend time with their friends more than their old man. And they grunt at you rather than talk to you. And they don't want to spend as much time with you, do they? And they become independent. And they try and think that they're a little bit more self-sufficient than they are. And that carries on, doesn't it, into adults. And we're a little bit like that as adults. We become self-sufficient and independent, and we look to create our own future. And I guess this is where my message is going, is that sometimes in that future and as adults, life comes and bites us, doesn't it? We get stuck with certain situations that we find tough. And because of that self-sufficient nature of ours and that independent nature of ours, we struggle and we wonder how on earth we're going to cope with that situation. And I guess this is why having God in our lives is important. This is the message today, that God is there and he's available and he wants to be let in to our lives. Just like that parent of that teenager, when the teenager slams the door shut of the bedroom, doesn't want to talk, doesn't want to engage, and the parent's on the outside waiting to be let in. That's God with us. He's waiting to be let in, and he's knocking on our door. And there's a wonderful psalm. Read it if you've got a chance. I'm just going to quote 1 or 2 lines from it. There's a wonderful psalm that talks about God wanting to be that parent and how much he knows us. It says he knit us together in our mother's womb. It's Psalm 139. It says, Lord, you have searched me and you know me. You know when I sit, you know when I rise. He knows us so well, like a parent. And he loves us so well. And he's desperate to be invited in. And that psalm also says, where can we go from your presence? Where can we flee from your spirit? If we go to the highest heights, you're still there. If we go to the depths, you're still there. So he follows us around. He's always there. He's always around us. But be waiting to be let in, like a gentleman, like that parent of that teenager. And he's there to be involved in those times where we become stuck, where life bites us, where we don't feel like we're moving forward. And there's been times in my life where I've been in those situations where it's been difficult. I've needed guidance. I've needed something to happen, a breakthrough to happen. And when I've remembered to give those situations to God, when I've remembered to involve Him in those decisions, I've seen huge coincidences happen. And think doors have opened, things that have just turned up out of the blue. And it's amazing what God can do when you let Him take over, give Him those decisions and that control. And it's difficult for us, isn't it, as independent, self-sufficient people, but God wants to guide us down the right path. That same Psalm 139 says, all our days that have been ordained were written in the book before one ever came to be. And God wants to guide us down that path, and that path where He wants to do us good and bless us along the way. And if anybody wants to talk to me about those times when I've seen God help me in decisions, when I've seen Him guide me, when He's taken control, I'm more than happy to share them with you. I can relay at least 4 or 5 off the top of my head. Massive coincidences that have happened. And He wants to do the same for us all. He wants to step in into our lives, to guide us, to help us create that future. Just like that picture of that parent knocking on the door of the teenager. He wants to spend time with us. He's desperate to spend time with us. And so while we're in lockdown, may we come to God. May we spend time with Him. May we allow Him to help. May we allow Him in through the door to guide our lives. And there's a wonderful song that I'm going to put on the playlist on our YouTube page. Have a look at it. It's called The Goodness of God. It links in with what I'm talking about today, and it's really blessed me over these last few weeks that when I've been listening to it. So take a look, listen along, sing along, and get to know it. But may God really bless you today, and may we just remember that the King of Heaven, the Creator of the world, wants to be our parent. He wants to step into our lives. He wants to spend that time with us. And He wants to guide us, shepherd us, protect us, and lead us into a wonderful future. God bless you, and amen.